What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick review and demonstration over Infinite by Toolroom. Infinite is a multi-effect plugin that you can use on everything. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But let's go ahead and get right into this review. Hit the key. All right, guys. So when you open up the plugin, it is going to look like this. It starts off as like a one knob, but you can hit this complex button and boom, you're right underneath the hood and you got a bunch of different effects to mess with. There are definitely some positives about this plugin and there are definitely some negatives about this plugin. So make sure that you guys stick with me on this review. But as we're looking here at the plugin, we have different multi-effects. So we have different effects from delay, we have crunch, we have reverb, we have LFO. You can easily move these around and put them wherever you want to. So boom, just like that, you can switch the location and the place of the effects in the chain. Down here at the bottom, you have a high pass and a low pass filter. You have your filter resonance, you have a format, you have width, you have white noise, you have gain here as well. Pretty basic controls, but they can do a whole lot. I made a little sample beat as always, and I used a bunch of different instances of the Infinite Toolroom. I used it on the piano, I used it on a guitar, I used it on some vocals, I used it on an 808, I used it on the drum bus. The beat's not all the way mixed down as always, but let's go. All right, guys, so that's the little sample beat that I put together for you guys today. Let's go ahead and hop back in Infinite and check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight this little region right here so we can use this to kind of go over some of the sounds and some of the stuff we used it on. I'm going to mute everything else. So now let's go ahead and pull Infinite back up. Boom, bam. So I do want to talk about a couple of the negatives about this plugin real quick. Two things that really need to be fixed in an update is that sometimes when you come in here and you come into the Infinite and you click on it, the plugin, it makes this thing ginormous. So it makes this screen so big it can't even fit on the screen. And then you have to basically go in and either restart the plugin. So you have to go into your settings and then you have to restart the plugin, or reload the plugin, or you have to save your project and then reopen your project up so that you can get it down to a normal size so that you can mess with it. Something that definitely needs to be fixed. It doesn't happen every time, but it does happen often. Another thing that needs to be fixed on the plugin is that it doesn't always save your preset. So like, let's say I'm working on a sound and I'm working on something and I go to save the project. The next time I open up the project, it may not have all these settings saved. So it may have everything down to 0 and it may just mess up whatever it is that I put the sound on. Definitely something that needs to be fixed because, you don't want to have to export everything out every single time with effects on there. But let's go ahead and check out what I put this on. So I put it on the piano. The piano initially sounded like this without the Infinite on there. All right, so now once I threw the Infinite on there, it sounds like this. So you can see it did a whole lot with messing with that sound. So getting it to sound a little bit different, a little bit unique. And that was just kind of messing with the format, the white noise, and some of the effects up here as well. I'll go ahead and play it on some of the other stuff that I have it on as well. So I have it on this guitar right here. And this guitar sounds like this without the infinite on there. All right, and so now once I throw the infinite on there, it's gonna sound like this. So what's cool about this plugin is that you can go into this one knob noise and it'll basically dial in the sound of that preset. So like if I push play, so you can see as I mess with that dial, it gives me a unique sound with whatever preset that I have here. So there's a bunch of different presets. You have like complex transitions, default, you have some downers, you have FX, asserts, risers, and sound shapers. So you just have a bunch of different stuff that you can use. So you can switch on one of these downers, let's say, and so, and then think about how cool that would sound to automate into whatever it is you're going to use it on. So definitely a solid little sound. Another thing that I used it on was this arcade vocal chop. So this vocal chop sounded like this. And so then once I threw infinite on there, I got it to sound like this. All right, so there's another thing that I want to mention about this plugin. You guys noticed it there firsthand. The effects were starting to work and then it just cut off on me in mid-use. And so you see how it went, all these come back down to 0. And this was when I was using the plugin. So again, this plugin does have some glitchy stuff about it. As you can see, when I first initially pushed it on this, it was working fine, but then it kind of made all this stuff go down. So basically I had the reverb, the delay up on it. And so that's kind of what I had it mess with. I had it a little bit different, but it is what it is. But this is what it sounded like without the infinite on there. All right, so now once I throw infinite on there, so boom, we can change up the vocal chops with that as well. The next thing I used it on in the beat was this 808 right here. So this 808 in essence sounded like this before I threw the infinite on there. And then once I threw infinite on there, I got it to sound like this. And so again, you can see the plugin is acting a little bit funny because I don't even have any reverb on right now, and it's still giving me a little bit of reverb in this 808. So. And so boom, bam, if we click off this and click back on it, you see it turn the reverb and the delay back on again. So just again, I just want to make sure that I mention all the positives with the negatives. And so that's something that you might have to deal with if you decide to get this plugin. Another thing that I had it on was I also had it on the drum bus. But what we're going to do now is we're going to basically come into this piano and we're going to mess with it on this piano a little bit. So let's go ahead and open this piano back up and we can kind of go through the infinite and you can hear some of the different modules and kind of how some of the different stuff sounds. So what I'm going to do So I'm going to turn off all this other stuff. I'm going to turn down the white noise, turn down the format and all that other stuff. So this is basically what the piano sounded like without any effects on there. All right, so we can start off with some delay on there. So we can throw some delay on there. All right, and then we got crunch as well. So with crunch, what's cool about this is that there's a few different types. So you have bit crusher, you have this transistor, and then you have a tape. So it's just different kind of saturation types. So then you can add that however it is that you like. We have some reverb over here next to that. It's very easy, one knob with the decay slider underneath it. And then next to that, you'll notice we have LFO, so we can control the LFO rate. So that's pretty cool. And then down here, you'll notice we have filter resonance. So sorry about that loud screech. Then we have format next to that. And then we have width and we have the white noise. The white noise is kind of cool the way that it does add the noise into whatever you're mixing it with. So that's pretty cool. What I like about this too is when you're looking at all these different presets. So with these presets, let's go ahead and just hit one of these presets real quick and push play. Now, when we come over here into the one knob, that's where these presets are really good at, is because the presets are set up basically for you to be able to automate, to build anticipation for your next section or your next piece in your arrangement. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up a little bit so you can hear it. So you can hear it's a bunch of wild little texture stuff that's going on with this one knob when you're messing with the one knob. So here's another preset. So again, you are going to have to be careful with the amount that you do dial in with the one knob, but again, it is a nice little flavor, a little something that you can add on top of your melody, like when you're doing transitions or when you're doing a build up or right before the drop or whatever it is in the beat. This is something that would be nice to automate with. So that's basically the plugin for you guys in a nutshell. As you guys can see throughout the demonstration, I've already really kind of given you guys my cons. My cons are definitely the fact that when you click on the plugin, sometimes it's ginormous. It doesn't fit on the screen. Sometimes it does. The fact that it doesn't save the presets always, so it doesn't necessarily save the settings that you have, definitely needs to be fixed in an update. I've seen some reviews on this plugin, and in those reviews, they didn't seem to have problems, but I've had a bunch of problems since I've had the plugin. Positives about the plugin though, is definitely just the workflow with it. It's easy. It's not too complex. You know, you could pick this up in a little less than an hour, half hour messing with it. I like the modules that they decided to use in this. I love the way that the white noise sounds. So when you're automating the white noise into something, I love the way that that sounds. I love the design of the plugin. I think that looks good as well. It is currently $49 at Plugin Boutique. I'll leave that link down below. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so every time a new video comes out, you can be the first to know. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next in the comments, and see you next time.
Some, hit the key.